everybody. This is Dr. Debbie with Evolve Global 22. I come to you live tonight for the first live stream that I'm starting for my plan to be accessible to you, all of my friends and followers. I'm very grateful to all of you, all of my subscribers on YouTube, for all of your support. You have been essential in making this happen. So every Monday through Friday, I will come on live from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. or so Eastern Standard Time. So join me, because this is the time for us to come together and to evolve together. So tonight is a little bit different. I just want to explain to you what's coming, so and how these will be handled. So for tonight, every one of the live streams will begin with our Evolve Global 22 mantra. So we're going to do a little exercise first to get us all cleared and mentally right and connected with ourselves and with each other, so that we can spend quality time in this moment and be present. So what I want you to do first is I want you to sit comfortably with me, and my hands are on my lap, facing up, palms up. And first, we're just going to do a little breathing exercise to get the oxygen flowing to our brains. So it's a deep breath in, and that through the nose, and then out through the mouth. So let's do this for a count of 3. So deep breath in, now out through the mouth. And when you take the deep breath in, your belly should pop out, not be sucked in. So let's do it again. Get that oxygen flowing to our brains. Deep breath in, and slowly release out. One more. Deep breath in, and then slowly release out. Now I want you to put your hand over your heart, and I want you to use your inner voice, and I want you to make an intention. And the intention is, I intend to connect with my heart. This helps us to connect with ourselves, to be fully present, and be ready for the moment that we're going to share together. So here at Evolve Global 22, I came up with this idea after talking to many of you. And Mondays are going to be mindful moments in micro-learning. And we're going to start this week with something very special I'm going to share with you. But before we do that, I want us to start every single one of our live streams with our opening mantra, Rise in Light. And give me a moment. We're going to do this together. You can repeat with me. Rise in light. I rise in truth. I breathe in healing. I walk in wholeness. I am perfectly imperfect, and I evolve through love, light, and purpose. Now, let me share with you a couple of things. So before I started, one of the things that I do in my own life, and I do with others as well, is I use oracle cards, and I have this beautiful deck, Moonology cards. This is not tarot. We're not telling the future or anything like that. Simple guidance. If you believe, like I believe, that everything happens for a reason, everything is revealed to us with a purpose, then if I were to take out these cards, which here's my deck, they are beautiful, you can see, and I shuffle them and I pull one card, that one card has a message that I'm supposed to pay attention to. And just before I came on, I pulled this card and it's the new moon in Aries and it says, go for it. Now, see how beautiful that card is. Now, I have several decks that I work with. Okay, so I don't memorize all of these things. That's impossible. So let me read to you the message that goes along with this card. New moon in Aries, right there, this beautiful card. Go for it. This card heralds good news, opportunities abound, and the outlook is positive. Go through the doors that are opening to you. There's every reason to believe you'll create what you want, even if you feel a long way from your goal. Keep going and be courageous. Chase your dreams with childlike enthusiasm and expect your desires to be satisfied. Don't sit around making plans. Do take action. This is crucial. Chase your goal. Believe in divine timing, in love. Make the first move if you dare. Financially, be proactive. Now, I pulled this card with the intention that it was for me, but I was guided to a message that somebody out there needed to hear this. So if you are seeing this, it's not for just a random happenstance. The message is meant for somebody. If it resonates for you, then I am very happy for you. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. But everything happens for a purpose. Everything comes into our lane with a purpose. And if we're open and our hearts and our minds are open, then we can receive those messages and use them to guide us throughout our day. So that is just one example of something that we do together. But let me get to Monday nights, mindful moments, and micro learning. And basically, the focus is we take bite-sized wisdom to start the week with insight and intention. So what I'm going to do, I believe, and I have learned, and I'm a living example of, knowledge is power. Knowledge is something that when you gain it, when you learn something, when you increase your knowledge in whatever realm, that cannot be taken away from you. It's power that you will always have. And it's the power to know. It's the power for clarity. It's the power to know truth. So if you have knowledge, it's easier to decipher whatever comes your way. That is it truthful? Is it based on reason? Is it based on facts? Is it based on reality? Is it based on, or is it based on something else? Or is it simply not a truth, or it cannot be a truth, or there's something just off and you're not going to accept that or be led down that path? So knowledge helps us to be in the know. And I say diversify your knowledge. What I have come to believe as we step into the future in 2025 and beyond is that everything is ever changing. We have access to information at rates and speeds and amounts never before in any time in history has it been possible. We have access to that. So diversify your knowledge, grow and develop so that you gain knowledge and maybe develop skills in other areas that you wouldn't think of, or that you develop knowledge just so that you're in the know and you can decipher what is truth, what is being spewed out in the social media, in circles that you run in as truth, when you know that it's not truth because it's not based on solid grounded knowledge. And where do you get knowledge from? Books, research, learning, basically. Now, that leads me to where we are right now in our little mindful moments and micro learning for this Monday. I came across this book. It's called The Science of the Sacred: Bridging Global Indigenous Medicine Systems and Modern Scientific Principles. Now, I actually came across this book by accident, but when I did and I started to read it, it really is an example and exemplifies why, the complete why of Evolve Global 22. And tonight, I want to just talk a little bit about the introduction, because that will give us a segue into what's coming as we read this together. So we're going to start with The Science of the Sacred: Bridging Global Indigenous Medicine Systems and Modern Scientific Principles. And this is by Nicole Redvers, ND, MPH. So what she does is she frames the book as a bridge between global Indigenous healing systems and contemporary scientific principles, which I love. And that's really what I try to do in The Power of Three, Ayurveda medicine, energy medicine, and herbal medicine, and other modalities that I bring in here and there to add to our toolbox. But she argues that, and I have notes because when I read, I have to take notes because, I can't remember everything. She argues that many new scientific insights echo teachings that Indigenous knowledge keepers have carried for generations. The aim is not to replace biomedicine, but to expand it, integrating evidence-informed, culturally grounded practices to better address the whole person and planetary health. So let's just take a moment, and I'm going to read the introduction. And it's very short, so it's not long at all. And I might not read the whole introduction, but some key points. So just take a listen. Human beings are arguably among the most complex creatures on this planet. At least we like to think so. With our highly developed social structures and lifestyles, you would think we could have most things figured out. Yet somehow in the development of our complexity, we have forgotten about the simple things that make us well. We continue to get sicker and sicker with no end in sight. The promise of new medical discoveries for various cures and the abolishment of certain diseases always seem to be just on the horizon and never closer. As Albert Einstein stated and has often been quoted, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. In this regard, the healthcare delivery patterns in developed countries have essentially been the same for the last century. New treatments, tests, and scientific advances have occurred. However, the fundamental basis of day-to-day medical practice has remained stagnant. Patient in, prescription written, patient out. As we continue to update our practices and applications, we mold medical care on the same delivery model and expect different results. Not only that, we apply and hold up the Western biomedical model to all populations under the health governance structure. Regardless of ethnicity, belief system, and cost, primary care delivery remains the same at its base, with outskirt satellite operations occasionally providing care in culturally specific ways. We base our decisions on evidence-based practice instead of including evidence-informed. practice, which is an important clarification that needs to be understood. That's really important. Take a moment and just reflect on that. We base most decisions on evidence-based practice instead of including evidence informed. This is a key point throughout the book. The evidence is telling us, however, that the times are changing in regard to what the general populace desires from their healthcare experience. Individuals and families are becoming increasingly unsatisfied with a patient in, prescription written, patient out model of communication and delivery encapsulated in a 5 to 15-minute person-to-person interaction. As a result, we see definite examples of practitioners and jurisdictions that are open-minded enough to listen to those desires. Riding the wave of change are institutions such as the Cleveland Clinic Center for Functional Medicine, Anishinaabe Health Toronto AHT, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America CTCA, the University of Arizona Integrative Health Center UAIH. The Hospital of Integrated Medicine in Italy, etc., etc. We also see examples of practitioners and institutions that seem to resist any change to the status quo. This could be for various reasons that can be substantiated by the lens through which they view medical care. Debatably, however, at risk of remaining frozen in medical bureaucracy and cost. This status quo then often assumes, often unknowingly, an antagonistic attitude toward people who desire freedom of choice in their healthcare delivery. This point has been brought to light more recently with the passing of Section 2706, the U.S. Affordable Care Act, which is titled Non-Discrimination in Healthcare. As the year goes on and the structure of medicine remains solid in its convictions and costliness, more patients will turn to more personalized care to deal with the broader range of chronic disease symptoms and diagnosis that will continue to dominate our human state for the foreseeable future. Most people on the planet pay for their health care. Even individuals in countries such as Canada, which offer free, quote unquote, health care, pay for it every day with their taxes through their purchases and employment or in premiums to insurance companies for drug and benefit plans. We must forget this illusion of free health care, as it never has truly existed and never will exist in the conventional sense. What differs is our ability to access care based on how we pay into our healthcare institutions. So I'm going to skip a little bit here. So where do we have it wrong and how can we fix it? Being critical of a system is successful only if you can provide valuable and realistic alternatives to make the existing system obsolete. How this revolution will continue to be relevant is by people being continually unsatisfied with their choices in healthcare and how it is delivered. The system will have no choice but to continue to change. More importantly, people themselves will have to change. We need to rise up and take responsibility for making ourselves well. Let me repeat that. That's another big, big point. We need to rise up and take responsibility for making ourselves well. And if we don't know how to do this, we need to accept the idea of seeking support in this important endeavor. The revolution in medicine truly starts with the revolution of self. The revolution of self begins with an understanding of the body and mind in a way that is rarely explained in today's mix of electronic media, publications, health news, and cultural beliefs. The human body functions in mysterious, complex, and intriguing ways. And when we simply understand what to do to support this being, there isn't much else that we have to do. If you or a family member is lost in the medical system or you want to avoid being a part of it, There is an abundance of balanced knowledge out there to help you reach levels of health you never thought possible. We have existed for thousands of years for a reason, yet we forget how important and relevant the knowledge of health and wellness was that was gained throughout that time. The revolution begins when we remember the teachings of the past and their relevance today in the 21st century. The revolution sustains itself when we see how the advances in science can actually help us. If we see them in the context of the underlying principles of health and balance that are not new to us, but are increasingly being lost and forgotten. The origin of the word doctor is from the Latin word docere, and I may not be pronouncing that correctly, which means to teach. And as an Aboriginal elder shared at a university graduation ceremony, knowledge is nothing. Knowledge means nothing unless you share it. In a way that makes sense, knowledge can motivate us and empower us to become our own healers. That, my friends, is exactly the message of Evolve Global 22 and what Evolve Global 22 was founded upon. Knowledge can motivate us and empower us to become our own healers when we are ready. The following chapters share the knowledge and teachings of health and wellness that have been passed down through the generations of Indigenous peoples, and at the same time tie this knowledge to current scientific advances. With this well-researched and compassion-driven endeavor, the goal is to inspire the change that is needed to link the revolution of self with deeper meaning and a connection to traditions, while at the same time not compromising modern values and advances. So this gives you an idea of what we are going to expect, or what we should expect, in the science of the sacred. We are going to read this book together and talk about and reflect upon some of the content. But like I said, really good book. Really need to read it. Join me every night, Monday through Friday, and we are going to not only read excerpts from this book, but we are going to do other things as well. And we will work through this week so you know what's coming. Now, I do much of my work for free. I spend a lot of time trying to help others. And I came across something the other day, and now I picked it up and I'm going to use it because it fits and I agree with it so well. And what we do here at Evolve Global 22 is we serve people and we help them to overcome challenges. And I do this and I never turn my back or close my door to anybody. So if you would like or you enjoy the content on my YouTube channel, or you find value in the work I do, or you just simply want to support so that I can continue to do what I do, go to my website, www.evolveglobal22usa.com. Scroll to the bottom of the homepage, and there is a place where you can give a gift of gratitude. I did put the link and the explanation in the chat, so it is there for you. And when I repost this on my social media platforms, I will also include it in the first comment. But I do appreciate any support that anyone is able to give, because like I said, I don't turn away anybody. I help anybody who comes to me in some way, or the best way that I can. So let's chat a little bit about what's coming, since this is my new live stream plan. So Mondays, like tonight, is Mindful Moments in Microlearning. And we're starting our Mindful Moments in Microlearning with the Science of the Sacred, Bridging Global Indigenous Medicine Systems and Modern Scientific Principles. Join me on Mondays, so that we can read and reflect and talk about this great book. Tuesdays, healing in real life. We'll talk about wins, struggles, emotional and spiritual healing moments. I will tie in the power of three, energy, Ayurveda, and herbal medicine. And we can talk about some products that can support you as well. Wednesday, Threads of Trinity. We talk about creativity as medicine, crocheting and crafts and tactile therapy. I crochet, I knit, and I love, I call that my therapy. I love it. And I can show you just a few, and these are also on my website. These are my meditation and therapy blankets. This is an example of one. See how beautiful it is? Has almost each chakra color represented. Color therapy, texture, and it gives you a very, very nice blanket for your meditations, for just having a calm, relaxing, peaceful moment. It clears and releases and balances your chakra system. You can see the beautiful colors. If any of you do meditation, you will notice that when you do your meditation and you get into a meditative state, you can get very chilly, a little bit cold. And the reason is because you're releasing all of the stuff and you're rejuvenating your system. So, and you're in a perfect state of calm. And when you're in a perfect state of calm and relaxation, you can get a little chilly. So these therapy meditation blankets are awesome. This is an example of one. There's also a tactile quality to this. Just wanted to share that one little one. So that's Threads of Trinity on Wednesday. And then Thursday, Light Talk and Spirit Flow, where we do oracle card readings and we talk about divine timing and forgiveness and purpose, energy cleansing routines, meditations. We'll start doing meditations together. And then Friday, the Wellness Drop-In. We'll end the week with a simple ritual for body-mind balance. And we can talk and demonstrate some of the strengths of the power of three, strategies, tips, and tricks that can help you in your day-to-day to clear, restore, and rejuvenate. So there is a lot coming here at Evolve Global 22, and I am here for you. Nobody can say that they are alone. I'm all over social media. You can find me. All you have to do is Google at Dr. Debbie Badawi, Debbie Badawi, and you will find me. Go to my website, all the social media links, everything is there. www.evolve, EVOLVE, global, GLOBAL 22 USA.com. Sorry. So it's www.evolveglobal22usa.com. And you can check things out. There's something for everybody. There's support for anybody and everybody, no matter what your financial situation is, no matter what your challenge is, no matter what you're facing. Maybe you just want to chit chat, and that's okay too. Join me Monday through Friday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because we are going to grow our community here. You are going to have access to knowledge. We're going to learn together. We're going to explore new learning together, strategies, the power of three, supports that you can use in your day-to-day. Just the little thing that I started off with tonight with the connection of the heart, the breath work. That's just one simple, small example. And as simple as it may be, how many of us forget on the day-to-day to not do those small, simple things that just take a few few seconds, a minute or two. And that's why you want to have a place and a space where you can come together with others here at Evolve Global to be able to develop and remember and keep yourself in the best state, mind, body, soul, and spirit that you possibly can, to gain guidance that is specifically meant for you, to gain strategies, to learn together, for us to learn together. I learn as much from my clients and friends and followers and subscribers and all of that as they learn from me. So very, very, very important. Come in Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 p.m. EST, and we will do things together. Now, we did our opening mantra. Now we have an ending mantra, and we're going to call it a night. We went a half an hour. Sometimes it'll only be a half an hour. That's all you need. I want you to show yourself self-love. I want you to take care of you. And you can reach out to me at any time. My contact information, excuse me, is on my website. And please know everything, excuse me, I got to drink my tea. Please know that I do everything through my website. If anybody reaches out to you in my name in another format, excuse me, for anything, then it's a scam. I am on TikTok, Instagram, all the social media. But when it comes to anything that I offer, anything official, it's through my website. My goodness. Okay, so let's do our closing mantra. And you can repeat after me. Get our music going here. I honor my journey. I release what no longer serves me. I am energy. I am light. I am love. Together we heal. Together we evolve. One more time. I honor my journey. I release what no longer serves me. I am energy. I am light. I am love. Together we heal. Together we evolve. And on that note, my friends, I wish you a safe, blessed, and full night. I wish you peace and love. And I will see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Peace and light.